Utazi soup is a very delicious soup with bitter sweet taste. It has so many medicinal values. Let me quickly show you how I made this deliciousness. You are welcome. Let's get started. I used goat meat to prepare this deliciousness. You can go for any protein of your choice. I simply added water and washed properly and I started cooking. I didn't add any water. Here is the stockfish I used. These are the ears. I will wash with hot water before I wash with cold water, then set this aside. This is the dried fish. I normally use a brush to brush the sand and dirt before washing. When you do this, you will notice that there are some particles that will fall off. Back to the meat now. Remember, I didn't add any water to this. Are you wondering where this water is coming from? I used water to wash. Remember, this water will be enough to cook this meat if it is not strong. This is quite strong, so I'll be adding more water. I simply spiced with a seasoning cube and salt, then added water to let this cook properly. I will cover and allow to cook. While this is cooking, let me introduce the palm kernel nuts. In short, the one you are using, the base is not pale. It is not brown or black. Make sure you are choosing a good one. Next is the cocoyam. The truth is, it is not every cocoyam you will use as your thickener. There are specific cocoyam for this purpose. If you are buying from the open market, make sure you ask questions. If you use the one that is not for thickening, you won't have a very good result. Next is the Utazi. Look at the Utazi. Some people might confuse this to be Okazi. No, this is not Okazi. This is Utazi. Look at the stem. It is usually long. Look at the leaves. I made sure to capture this very well. Here is the Oziza I'll be using to garnish this. Here is the Oziza, quite similar to Otazi, but they have a very great difference. When you look closely, you will find this. Back to the pot now. This has been cooking for the past 20 minutes. I will add the stockfish ears. I will continue cooking to let this soften. Then add the fish. This fish doesn't have to cook for a very long time. I will simply add it after some time. I will take this off the heat. Look at it. There is no stock because I don't really need the stock. So I allowed it to dry properly. I will simply wash the cocoyam properly. Next is to wash the palm kernel nuts with salt. Make sure you wash properly. The palm kernel nuts and the cocoyam, I'll be cooking them in a pot. You can do this if you don't have much quantity. I'll be cooking them until they are tender. Once they are tender, the palm kernel nuts will be very soft, just like this, while the cocoyam will be soft as well when you touch them. Look at this. This means it is ready, so I'll be taking them off the heat. For the palm kernel nuts, it is very important you extract the juice when it is still hot. Don't allow this to cool down before you start extracting the juice. The end result is not pleasant. I will simply add water and then extract the juice. My pot and my sieve are ready. Look at it now. Right now, I will simply add water. Once I add water, I will sieve this juice just like so. I will be adding another water. This time, the water should be less. Extract more juice. Here is the remnant. This shouldn't go to waste. They have a couple of purposes. I will be setting this aside. Next, we move to the cocoyam. If this cocoyam was cooked properly, the back should be able to peel off easily, just like so. If you come in contact with anyone that is not good, anyone that is colored like brown, do well to discard them. Do not add them into your collection. So I'll be pounding this with my mortar and my pestle. You can use a food processor for this, but I'll be pounding mine. Once I'm done, I'll be setting this aside. Can you see the consistency? It is very smooth. Look at that, guys. Next, we move to the leaves. This is the oziza leaf. Always wash your oziza leaf before you cut or slice them. When you do it the other way, when you wash, after cutting them, it will be slimy. You don't want this, do you? Next, we are moving to the Utazi. I will wash this as well. Once I'm done washing, I'll be keeping some aside. These are about 6 leaves, and here are the others. I will be showing you what we'll be doing with the other leaves. This one I'll be washing them just the same way you wash your bitter leaf. I washed for about 3 minutes. Look at it. The aim is not to remove the bitterness. So I set that aside. Let's introduce all the ingredients. Everything is now ready. This food is almost done. So guys, let's prepare this deliciousness. This food has medicinal values. You can't believe this. So let's go. Here are pepper. This is seasoning cube. Here is crayfish. And finally the ogiribo. This is not ogiriobe. This is ogiribo, fermented oil seed. Now that everything is ready, let's start cooking. This is the juice now on my stove top on normal heat. Let's prepare the pepper. Here I'll be pounding my pepper. You can use your blender or your food processor for this. I'll be using my pounder. So I pounded the pepper, the Utazi we reserved. This was about 6 pieces. Next, we are the crayfish. This will be followed by the ogiribo. Look at the ogiribo. It is not ogiriobe. If you use ogiriobe, you won't get this deliciousness. This is ogiribo. Once everything is well pounded, I will set them aside. Can you see that, guys? Look at it. This was well pounded. Look at my mortar and my pestle. I've not washed it. I will tell you what we'll be doing with this. Back to the pot. It is now time to add the protein, the meat, the stockfish, and the dried fish. I will simply give this a very good stir and add my seasoning cubes and then salt. Once I've added my salt, I will stir properly and let this cook. I will let this cook for about 5 minutes. Once 5 minutes have elapsed, I'll be adding the pepper mix. The pepper, the Utazi that we pounded, the crayfish and the ogiribo. Give this a very good stir. Next is the cocoyam. I'll be using this cocoyam to clean up my mortar and my pestle. Make sure you do this, guys. You will thank me later. Once I'm done, this should be about 5 minutes later, I will add it into the pot. Use my spoon to divide this into smaller chunks. Then cover up and allow to cook. Once the cocoyam have almost disappeared, I'll be adding the Utazi. Remember with the Utazi we washed just like bitter leaf. Add it now. You can see there are still some cocoyam left. Allow this to cook until all the cocoyam have disappeared. Then add the oziza. The oziza should be the last to enter this pot. Stir this properly. And this food is done. I will allow this to simmer for about 2 minutes. With this, the uziza will release its aroma. Look at this, guys. You can enjoy this soup with any swallow of your choice. The color is popping. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on the health benefits of this delicious soup. When you prepare this meal, let me know if you love it. I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye.